Three, two, one. We are live. I don't know why I got that raspy sound in my voice, but it's all good. It is Sunday, February 11th, 2024. It's a good day so far. Woke up 7. That's what time the dog got me up. The other one was hollering the whole time, and both of them are in the office right now, and I think they may attack each other. Hey, big dog, big dog. Hey, you need to relax. She's just a small dog. Hey, this is just too much. What's she doing to you? She's like 2 pounds, and you're like 100 pounds. Adif? Man, this is just what I have to deal with right now. What the hell you got in your mouth? You got that treat that's on the floor? Okay. Big dog, you crazy, man. The baby teeth. Mm-mm. Back up. Yeah. Oh yeah, so we are on. We're doing this thing. My microphone tried to come off, and that's what we're doing right now. I don't know how long this one's going to be. It may just be a peek in and out type of show today. I got a little bit more distractions that I usually get on Sunday, but this is the new norm, so we're gonna have to roll with it. I think Thursday, that's when I did the other podcast. So Thursday evening, I did notice that I needed to do my Kanban. I haven't done that in over a week or so. No, over a month, something like that. So I needed to update a couple of things. It took about an hour or so to update it, see where I was, and all that good stuff. One thing I did notice is that a lot of the stuff that I did get done, I did get them done, right? But there's like really no direction, and things that kept lingering weren't going to get done. And then, which day was it? Was it Wednesday or Thursday? I had my Amazon representative reach out to me after I sent her a couple of emails. And she told me, just get it done. Just get the listings done. Everything will happen the way it needs to. So that's what we're going to actually work on today. In the next couple of hours, we're going to work on that. So Amazon listing, once that is up, I will send it off, get it approved, and we'll go from there. And then I will continue to make it better. There's a couple of things I do need to do to focus on and all that good stuff. But yeah, so that is what we're going to be doing. It's going to be a lot of fun. Yesterday was a busy day. I did focus on, what did I focus on? YouTube, man. Oh my God, YouTube is, I wouldn't say kicking my butt, but it's challenging me in a good way. I spent about 4 hours working on my last video, and I learned quite a bit about editing, about flow, about attention and all that stuff, and how you have to like listen to things constantly. And it's one of those things where I am going to get better at. It's like painting to me. Everybody sucks at painting, but as you keep doing it, you learn different things. You learn different shortcuts, the way you like to do it and all that. So yeah. So that's what we more so worked on yesterday for 3-4 hours. And most of the other work was already completed. So that was a good thing. My thumbnail, my description, and what else? There's something else. Title. It came together pretty well. So I did like the approach of asking Chat GPT about topics and not so much writing a script for me, but giving me an outline. I think I am better at an outline than a script. Most of the stuff I do know, but like this coffee, this Irish coffee, I did not. And it just helps you put you in the right frame of understanding what's going on. So I'm gonna look at more of my YouTube material and start to get the next video going. I have an idea what it is, but we're gonna see if we can do some research on it first. You didn't need to snap at the dog like that. She's 3 pounds. Now that she ate some of your food now, okay? You don't want to look at me right now, huh? Okay. Yeah, the dog is crazy, but whatever. Both of them are. So that was done. I got some more pegboard shelves. So I went ahead and finished updating or or finalizing my pegboard artwork, which I think it looks pretty cool. It's very themed. So I think that's for the most part the way it's going to look, the way I want it to look. And we will go from there. But I am about to make the purchase of my lights. My lights will be purchased soon. Sometime later this week. So that'll be cool. And then everything else will be in the room and by the end of the month or so. But yeah, that's what we got going. That's what I'm doing in a nutshell. Oh, what else came in today? Oh yeah. So last week I had a conversation with my friend Troy, and he was talking about keep it stupid. And I talked to another person, too, another coffee roaster, and we were talking about what we were talking about. We were talking about K cups or things in general, but he did mention this to me a while back ago. So I will. So I went ahead and made the purchase on some K cups, and it's pretty good. It's pretty good, you know. So we will fill them and close them down and give them out to people and see what they think. And that's what we're gonna do. It's gonna be interesting, I think. But we will test it out. I'll test it out tomorrow. I have a way to test it out tomorrow. And yeah, fun times for everybody. So what else? What else? What else? Give you a quick recap, catch up, so we can talk about something today, irrelevance to coffee, right? This is what this is, right? Coffee podcast. I do like the fact that I don't feel pigeonholed or tied to coffee. Don't get me wrong, this is a coffee podcast, but I hope that you get that it is a different type of coffee podcast. This is more so the creation of things I listen to and things that I would want in a podcast when it talks about coffee. A lot of times we're just talking about brews, and it's very limiting, brews, roasting, origin, the C, level. We'll talk about that too. The C cost. It can be very limiting, but I think the thing that I really do love about coffee is people. You know, I'm gonna say this, but you can take it whichever way you want to. But I'm a misanthrope, if that's the right way to say that. If you look up that word, let's look it up right now. Let's go ahead and go down this aisle. This this experiment. Mhm. Let's see. There we go. I spelled it really bad. Uh, This is a definition: a person who dislikes humankind and avoids human society. So when you listen to that or read that, or if somebody tells you exactly who they are, it's kind of alarming, right? Especially with that type of word. I am a loner. I like to keep to myself. I have so many different hobbies and things that I like to do that are very individualized. And I don't feel bad about that. And again, a lot of times when people talk to me, they don't get that from me, which is true. I'll get to what I'm trying to say. But it's not that I have never tried to understand or get to a real liking of people. I have. I've tried and I keep trying actually because I think me being human is the reason why I keep trying. And as I keep finding out theories about people, they become true, unfortunately. But I tend to do a lot of things on my own. I have so many things that I can fill my days with that will keep me busy, you know? At times I get nervous around people. I'm a introvert. However, I do have the talk to me face, which I think I talked about already. But it's one of those things to me where I don't feel bad about saying that, especially publicly, like I'm saying right now. But coffee gives me this sense of getting to know people, humankind, everybody together collectively. That's something scary. That's something that it is really hard to find some type of reasoning behind. And I think if people were honest with each other, they will probably feel a certain way about it too, to an extent, not to the extent that I do, but something about the the opportunity that coffee brings to getting to know people, that's where I'm at with a lot of this stuff. That's what makes sense to me. That's what gets me going. That's what gives me the appreciation of coffee more than the gadgets, the brewing, the roasting, and all that. Of course, yeah, to an extent, making a living from this too, showing tips and tricks and things from people and all that stuff. But I think once I exhaust my my friend and family group of talking to people about coffee, it'll be really cool to start to branch out and to reach people that I don't know. And if we have a commonality of a common interest of coffee, it's cool to see what else type of things that we do have in common. And I think that's what coffee does. Yeah, drinking does that too, but coffee is more of a it it gets everybody more comfortable, I think, with just being themselves. And there's no like pretense or anything like that. And that's the thing that I like about coffee the most. And I think that's why you'll get a lot of ramblings from me because my interests are beyond coffee. It's beyond just a brew recipe or a roasting technique or this new drink that I just tried. You know, that's where this stuff is. You know, so yeah, that's it in a nutshell. I'm not backtracking. I do believe that I am a misanthrope, but individual people have that type of thing going for me. And at times, it's one of those things to where it can be really magical, you know? Well, let me know if you want me to go into more details of why I feel this way. And we'll go from there. But other than that, that's why I love the interaction that I do get with people when we are around coffee. And that's the beauty of the coffee club that I had at my previous job. A lot of us still talk today. And it's pretty cool to just be a person on the wall, just figuring things out. Yeah. So, other than that, these dogs has finally calmed down. This one's full than a tick. She's a lap dog. She's a mini Dotson. So she's going to be no more than 5 pounds, if that. She keeps eating the food that we give her. She's going to be 6 pounds, fill up her body. But, so yeah, so coffee, coffee, coffee. What else about coffee? Mm, mm. Let's talk about this beverage I'm drinking right now. And it's not coffee, actually. This is a little bit about a business reconnaissance type of situation. So here we go. We're going to bring up the other one too, because I think it's kind of gone by the wayside. I will not say the company. I will say the company of the one that I am drinking right now. But there is a magnesium. I still have it. I still take it from time to time. Took some actually yesterday. But I've been with them for over a year or so. And in the beginning, extremely helpful, revolutionary, right? It did help out my body. It did show that I was deficient in magnesium. But something about the taste of them started to change. They have a lavender, they have a purple one, it's a lavender, and they have a pink one. That's something else. But now I think they have like, I don't know how many they have. They have a pomegranate and they have a Meyer lemon. But something about the taste, the formula started to change in it. It became less acidic and more sweet. And I think this could be a lesson in a lot of things right here. So the formula kept changing. And I noticed that in the last one that I did get, was a pomegranate, and and all of them really tasted the same. So this is the thing about this that I didn't realize that I was gonna really get into, is that there's usually two competing things in coffee, or really in general, a lot of things that you drink. There's on the spectrum of sweetness, and there's a spectrum of acidity, right? So there's, of course, varying degrees of percentages, which one leans more than others. Sometimes other people prefer a sweeter type of cup of coffee, and others they like a lemon type of acidity, like a acidic fruit bomb, you know? And if you go too crazy and too over extracted, then you'll get the bitterness. And bitterness and sourness, that's a totally different type of way or topic for another day, because that can get kind of crazy in a way to where they can be very similar but very different, right? But in this case, what we're talking about is the balance of sweetness and acid. Those are the two common things in coffee. And coffee can be sweet. Don't get me wrong. It's kind of hard to really kind of get there, but it can get sweet. There's this one Colombian coffee. It was a black honey coffee. Oh my God. I think that was one of the favorite coffees I've had from one of the places I get my exotic or more uh, interesting coffees. And it was extremely sweet, no matter which way you made it. There's another one that now in hindsight that I think about it, it was extremely sweet. You roast it so many different ways. It just got so much sweeter, especially when it got darker, which was kind of interesting. Um, but you're playing this tightrope of coffee, right? What do you want more? Do you want sweetness or do you want acid? And I wouldn't necessarily say I'm more of a 50-50 type of person. I am more of a 60-40 in the acid realm than sweetness. And more people want sweetness. And to me, when somebody says sweetness in a beverage or coffee, to me it doesn't taste like anything a lot of times. And that's a problem to me. And you gotta have to watch that a lot of times. When you're dealing with different roasters, you're kind of getting a different philosophy of what they tend to do with coffee. Because yes, a lot of times they'll try to say that we try to bring out the best in the coffee, which is true. But truly, if you really look at it, you have to understand what that person truly thinks about or cares about in coffee. Okay? Meaning that meaning that what do they really care about? Do they care about sweetness, or do they care about acidity a little bit more? And again, acidity can come in so many different ways. Like you can get a nice gala ripe, crisp apple sweetness, which to me is not that much sweetness in there. I mean, an apple acidity, which that's on a lower spectrum of of acidity. But then you get and then you get a Granny Smith apple, so to speak, and that's probably a little too much. So you kind of roast and understand that coffee a little bit more as you constantly try to figure things out in this whole thing, right? So so you're playing around with that, because at the end of the day, the coffee does have a taste that is there, like I'm experiencing with this Kenyan. I don't like it as a dark roast. I barely like it as as a medium roast. I may try to light roast, really light roast, and then I'm gonna do those 3 medium roasts. Probably do that later today. But I'm still trying to figure out this coffee and the reason and the way that you either roast it fast, slow, do different things there and here and there with different techniques of roasting. That's is the thing that brings out more so the sweetness and the acidity of the coffee. And that's where you create the balance of that coffee. A lot of times, especially with the Brazilian coffees, they have that one notey or two notey. They're kind of mixing together nut and chocolate tasting coffees, which that's what most people like. But the thing about this is here. Here's the thing. You got to try many things. And then as you try many things, it's okay for you to be frustrated. In this case, that's what the situation is with this particular magnesium. You can probably guess or kind of figure out which one I'm talking about. It's still the best one on the market because the actual ingredients, they do work. All the other magnesiums that I have tried, they're crap. They're just juice. But in this case, whenever you put water in it by itself, I can't really do it anymore. I have to, of course, mix electrolytes with it. I have to put like some lemon in it to kind of bring up more of a balancing act with it. But now it's all sweetness and they tend to taste all the same. And it's okay to change your formula. That's not what I'm saying here. I'm just saying that it's worth asking your clients of what's going on. Do they like the new formula and stuff like that? And I hope that you do that too with me. If you feel that something's off, you know, everybody has protocols, but things happen. But if you feel something is off, if your palate isn't that strong and understanding, then that's a place, a thing that we can get down and to learn and understand together. But that's the thing about this is that coffee, the over the overemphasize of balance of sweetness drives me upside down. Because to me that's more so like a very boring coffee. You know, it doesn't really talk to you. It's different in every which way. So that's what we need to get away from, at least for me. And it's one of those things to where I know that it can get better, but I don't know about this company. This company will be just fine, but they need to bring something back to where it is to the point where it is sweet, imbalanced, and acidic. I may just send them an email, letting them know because I can look right now, push my next order till like March because I was doing it every month, but I'm not happy. And I think it's fair that I do let them know that I'm not happy and the reason why. And I know I'm probably one of the few that feel that way, but it is important to let them know, to tell them that you're not happy and the reason why. So I think this one's long enough, right? I do want to talk about the electrolytes, but we're going to have to table that for another day. I think that's a good topic too. We'll parallel, we'll talk about that more so as we get into it. I may talk about it next week. So this is 30 minutes. I didn't think I was going to do 30 minutes with these dogs going crazy, not having a real coffee topic. But sometimes it is work. It works the way that it does work. And it is fun that we are figuring this out together. And yeah. All right. Oh, I didn't even talk about. Did I talk about it? We'll talk about it later. that drink was amazing. I'm gonna make some again today. The Irish coffee, probably in the afternoon, whatnot. All right, talk to you later. Bye.